Warning, this video contains rumors, speculation, strong opinions, and
Okay, everyone, I'm here with my friend Preston Poulter of Pocket
Hello.
Jack Comics. Boy, we gotta discuss COMICSGATE again. What the WTF? What the hell? What the F is going on?
Every week is an adventure.
All right, so I'm gonna tweet out this video first.
Cool.
Get your comments in if you have some questions for Preston. We're gonna figure this out together because not the usual has happened, but something's happened at COMICSGATE. Michael S., what's up, Michael S.? Hold on a second. Oh, I'm gonna force my collab with the comic book. I heard he doesn't like me yelling all the time. That's what I heard on the street. Okay, well, I'm gonna have him on the show anyway, my own way. All right, let me get this tweeted out here. I'm actually asking Preston to fill me in a little bit, but it's not the usual COMICSGATE week, is it?
No. I mean, Ethan launched Rekt sequel, and it made over 300 grand in the first 24 hours. So hats off to Ethan. I'm going to be talking about that on my channel. Bet he should probably drop on like Thursday, and I'll definitely put a big cheer for him. Like, yay! I mean, that is quite an accomplishment. It is so unexpected because all of the other COMICSGATE campaigns have just been getting kicked in the dirt. I mean, Antonio Bryce's sequel campaign for Brand 2 Way of the Gun is like 15% of the first one. Let's see if the thing is about COMICSGATE, there aren't a ton of sequels. Now, Adam Post did College of the Dead, and that one is doing better. But I mean, like, the first one was kind of low in terms of how much it raised in the initial campaign, like $5 grand. And so the second one may end up doing double that, like 10 grand. But those aren't like the numbers people typically associate with COMICSGATE. But like the Expendables, that one way underperformed in comparison to what we would have expected, because that one was lower than Jawbreakers or the Jawbreakers sequel. Like, go back to 2018, Richard C. Meyer did Jawbreakers and brought in like 400 grand, and then the Jawbreakers sequel brought in like 240 grand, and then Expendables, I don't know exactly where it finished up at, like 180, I want to say, somewhere in there. And well, why wouldn't the Expendables, where you're offering, like Sylvester Stallone signed books, be more than Jawbreakers 2, which was launched like 6 months ago? So, and if you look at like Google Analytics in terms of the COMICSGATE channels, they're all down across the board. And when the quarter was talking about Google Trends, that was down. So in general, we're seeing less interest in the channels, less interest in terms of searching, and less support for COMICSGATE campaigns across the board, until all of a sudden Rekt Planet just kaboom. And so, well, it doesn't make a lot of sense. So that's
what we're gonna do is gonna examine the special report from Diversity in Comics, the comic book cut, and see if he's got a point, if he's on anything, and we'll give our opinions. I didn't watch the whole video. I might do this again because he won't collab with me. I heard I got a source that says I yell too much, so he won't come on my stream. So I'm gonna force it to happen by watching his video. I'll be honest. I'm interested in Rekt Planet. I'm still interested in Blood Honey. I just don't like what he does for the fandom. I don't think he's good for the fandom. I think he's good for himself, and I think he's an amazing artist. I don't know about his writing. I've heard different opinions on the actual writing of the book, because he in his history at DC, writing was not his strong suit.
Right.
So he's taking that up on himself.
I don't believe he has a writing credit in terms of DC, so or Marvel for that matter.
Oh, Michael S. is saying saying EVS benefited from this chaos.
Maybe.
I mean, that's one theory.
Yeah.
Maybe he took some ads out like Doug.
Maybe.
I don't know. I think it's just the perk with the box is what really got people. Oh, I got to get that collector box. And
Could
then Preston said something about the first 24 hours.
Yeah, he launched a and you know, I do this when I launch my campaigns. I want you to back early because you want to build the momentum. So I offer a special reward. For me, it's like in the first 72 hours. But he offered a cover that you could only get, like that perk was only available in the first 24 hours, and maybe that's what fueled it. Again, everyone's just speculating at this point. Like, I don't know.
So he might be watching people, his critics, more than he says.
Oh, sure.
Because he takes a little bit from hey, that's how you do. Let me see, Bianca. His writing is good. EVS was solid in Cyberfrog, not great, but good enough. Okay,
that's a damn lie. Cyberfrog was absolute shit.
I don't know. See, I'm doing fair and balanced.
He's had 3 issues to set up the main conflict of it, and like issue 3 is reintroducing Cyberfrog twice. We have first one. It's kind of like the Book of Genesis, where we have 2 different creation myths for how man was. Like first, I don't want to get into like Bible stuff, but there's like the story about God creating the heaven and the earth, and then God created man, and then there's the story of there's Adam. I know, I'll take out a rib. So they kind of do that with Cyberfrog. If you go to like section 1 as like, oh, here's the Cyberfrog intro story, then section 2, here's another Cyberfrog intro story, and of course this is issue 3. I'm like, how many times do they have to introduce this damn guy? Like Anna, the Star Wars girl, did a review where she's like, this thing left me with blue balls.
I don't trust her review.
Well, you shouldn't, but I was still like, she kind of had motivation to be like, just like Bianca, to like, yay, Ethan's a shit writer. Stop simping.
Oh, throwing heat. Okay. Well, I don't know yet. All I know is the art. So okay. I'm trying to be as fair about. I don't like what he does. I'm not, like I said, I don't like what he does for the fandom. I don't think he helps anyone but himself. And his group, his circle of creators on YouTube talk about garbage tier.
Yeah.
His actual garbage tier, and the sites he promotes. He dunks on Access Media and and those sites, but the ones he's associated with are 10 times worse sometimes. But let's watch the special report from the hut. I'll bring that up here.
All right.
See if he's on something. I hope he doesn't claim this video.
Okay.
Oh, so getting heat in the chat.
EVS is not. I mean,
I disagree with you there.
Yeah.
I don't like his personality. I mean, he's also kind of funny.
Sure.
But I think he has a spiteful side that he does the nice guy routine on the YouTube channel that every once in a while you get a peek of, and it's kind of scary when you get those live streams. You're like, whoa, what the hell? So, all right, let's watch the special report. Make this bigger here. I got the hut. Special reporting on my channel.
This is a special report here at the Comic Book News Floor. I am your host, Hut Brokaw, and
I gotta pause everyone. So
the headline today is the Federal Trade Commission and ICE have flagged Ethan Van Sciver's
cyber fraud
2.
Cyber fraud. Is that what we call it? Cyber fraud. I don't know about that. Let's see if he has a point, if he's on something. I don't know if this is just a joke. I honestly don't know if he's just joking or not. I don't know.
He's not. He's shown receipts on Twitter for people flagging the Federal Trade Commission in regards to cyber to the latest campaign.
All right.
Yeah.
Good evening from New York City. As you know, we're dealing with the coronavirus here, but there are other things going on in the news. For example, the Federal Trade Commission and ICE have flagged Ethan Van Sciver's Cyberfrog Wreck Planet. Now, you're wondering why would ICE do that? Well, they do handle trade money laundering. And it's believed at this point that the Federal Trade Commission has contacted Little Caesar, Ethan Van Sciver, also known as Eddie Burgos, also known as Hunter Van Sciver. And if
what's he talking about there? His other
all right,
alien.
So yeah, all right. People come to me because of the stuff I talk about, and they're like, here's the skinny on these people. So I know what he's talking about. And as there are allegations that Ethan has some alter egos that he just named.
Well, his first one's too big for one person as it is, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but there people have passed me notes that he goes by the name Eddie Burgos, and also that all right, so he has a son that he talks about, Hunter Van Sciver, but we've never seen him. And people who have you're asking me questions like this is the stuff I talk about on my channel. I try and stay above the level, but Hut went here, so I'm at least explaining and answering the question.
Sure.
People have passed me notes that Hunter Van Sciver is not a real person. That is simply a made up entity that Ethan will sometimes go under. So
I don't know. Maybe
I don't know. Yeah.
All right.
These are the notes I see. I'm like, all right, interesting. So
all right, let's get back to the special report.
Okay. The FTC is involved and ICE is involved. Other random agencies within the United States government has been contacted. For instance, the FBI, the IRS, and believe it or not, the U.S. Postal Service. It is believed through the shadow, because there was so much money that had pumped into this Rekt planet so quickly in the first 24 hours.
Although we kind of covered that.
Yes.
I honestly think all his crew showed up at the beginning.
Sure.
And it's going to be a front-loaded campaign.
Without
I mean, I could be proven wrong if he succeeds and he proves us wrong. He proves us wrong, and give him credit where it's due.
Absolutely.
But I absolutely think this is a front-loaded campaign, and it will get money.
Sure.
But do you see it passing the amount of backers for the first one?
But I made a prediction about this campaign, and so far I was way wrong. So I think at this point I'm just going to sit back and watch it.
Well, here's how many backers there are now: 3,023.
Okay.
And the first campaign had 8,566.
Right. Yeah. I mean, he's not going to hit that. I mean, he's priced his perks really high.
Yeah.
And people have commented on my video and said, like, he knows that he's lost a lot of normies, but he has a lot of like dedicated, real fanatical fans. And so he's just priced the camp, like the average backer level in the first 24 hours, like over $100, like $126, I think the average was. So he's just priced it such that, the dedicated fans will just give the cash. There was one perk of like the original cover art that he priced at $10,000, and somebody claimed that one. So awesome.
Bianca thinks it will. We'll see. Bianca, maybe. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe. I honestly, my prediction is maybe with the funds, but not the backers. I don't think it's going to pass.
I don't think the backers are.
So my question to everybody is that a success, or just a success for EVS and all caps comics? Is that a success for COMICSGATE, or just for himself?
Well, I think when we're talking about success, first you have to frame it in terms of goal and expectation. Look, I would say, I think the question is, will it be a success over 5 years from now? Will he be able to still come out and do a campaign and expect that kind of performance? And I don't think so. If we look at like Brian Pulido, because people have recently said, well, I guess he's kind of like Brian Pulido, who does Lady Death, and he rarely ever gets more than 3,000 backers, but he's got his core audience. His core audience likes him, and he's able to do, campaign after campaign. But still Lady Death, those numbers do grow. I can't help but think this is just kind of a strange aberration given the overwhelming downtrend of everything else in COMICSGATE, but we'll see. Time will tell. I mean, look, I also look at it this way. My channel, I do reports on Ethan and COMICSGATE. I want Ethan and COMICSGATE to maintain as much longevity as they can, because the more relevant they are, the more relevant reporting about them is. Like if COMICSGATE here tomorrow, I'd have to find another topic to talk about. So I can't really say I'm not happy about it. I kind of am. My predictions that it wasn't going to go well were proven wrong. But when you make predictions about the future, sometimes you're going to get some stuff wrong. It's going to happen. Look, I'm perfectly fine with him, putting up campaign after campaign and raking in the dough, because he's always going to do things that are noteworthy and kind of ridiculous, and he's never going to be able to cop to it. So it's up to me, kind of an outside source, to go, and today war campaign did thus and so.
I mean, when he does something right, we gotta at least gotta commend him. I mean, this is the right thing for comics, not all the other BS behind the scenes and COMICSGATE Live and war campaign. And I think even though he downplays his connection to them, they kind of went silent. I mean, not silent, but with me at least. Yeah, they are not, and I'm not poking the bear either. I don't want them to go crazy, but I think he kind of laid the hammer down on them a little bit. Let me see. Okay, Living Purgatory. We were talking about another floppy, right? Talk about overpriced. I thought $4 to $5 comics by DC. I don't think he has any interest in making these more affordable to the consumer at all.
No, he doesn't.
No, especially if he could prove a point for the culture war.
Exactly.
No, that's why I like Preston. He wants to make some money. He wants to make product. He cares about the consumer, and he tries to make it very affordable. My honest opinion, besides personality clashing, is that's the reason they didn't want to talk to you, I think. Probably. Because you have good ideas on how to make things affordable, actually being respectful to other creators that you don't agree with, and digital, and they have no interest in any of those.
And today I just signed a deal and sent it off. I'm going to wait until we have an official announcement, but White Lily is going to be distributed in comic book stores later this year.
Awesome! Really? Yeah, that's great. That's what I want to hear. That's news. That is newsworthy. That's great. This is what I mean, I don't hear anything about that except for who's the Sweetcast. That's the only I don't think any of these
to distribute through Alterna, but then I also saw like Alterna has a campaign on Indiegogo of we're in danger of going bankrupt, please back us for whatever. I'm like, well, that doesn't look good.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I don't want to talk out of my ass. It was just something somebody said. Let me go to Indiegogo here and see.
I think after the Critias and the other stuff that they really calmed down on the craziness. They're reining it in a little bit, and he's having less live. He still has live streams, but not as crazy as many. He's doing the
right there. Here, I will send you.
Okay.
So here is Help Save Alterna. That is the name of the campaign. Help Save Alterna Comics from going bankrupt.
Well, let's finish this. Keep that up, and let's finish this video first, and then I could show that.
Okay.
All right.
Red flags throughout the whole entire United States government went off. As you know, we have a major emergency in this country and in the world.
And there's also a cyber fraud emergency.
$300,000 was spent within 24 hours on this campaign. When the original campaign was over a year late, close to a year late, with many complaints from customers on the behavior of this individual known as Ethan Van Sciver, a.k.a. Eddie Burgos, a.k.a. Hunter Van Sciver. He may have other numerous online aliases, so be on the lookout. We've also learned that backers have come from all over the world, including the country of Georgia and the country of Russia. When you hear those names, and possibly the Ukraine at this point, we've also heard of complaints from other parts of Europe that has flagged other government agencies throughout the world. I will say this as a commentator slash
I don't know.
newsman.
I like the comic book cut, but I think my personal opinion is I gotta be real. I think he's reaching on this one.
Yes, I think the idea that world governments are concerned with cyberbugs is a little. All
right, let's hear it. We're almost done.
As a fake news man, this is very disturbing. Again, the Federal Trade Commission and ICE have both flagged Ethan Van Sciver's Cyberfrog 2 Rekt Planet for bringing in the amount of money that he has brought in for the first 24 hours of this campaign. From what the Shadow has told me, the campaign will now go on a normal trajectory. This was a special report here in New York City. Have a good day. This is Hut Brokaw, and this was a special report.
Okay,
I saw someone say Georgia is now a country near Russia. Georgia is a country near Russia.
Yeah.
Just FYI, that is true.
Well, I might have my special reporter, the Hut, come on again in the future because he won't actually collab with me. But my pal Preston always does. I appreciate it. He's ready to talk, which that goes a long way in my opinion of someone if they're willing to talk to people. So that's why I like Preston. I'm getting this off now. If you want to share,
sure,
what you're bringing up before.
All right, cool. And hey, I'm sure we got some sympathetic people. Do you want to in private or public? Consider either one.
Wait, what were we talking about before?
So there is a campaign on Indiegogo right now by Peter Simeti.
Oh yeah, you could bring it up.
This is closed. Sorry, how old is this? This may be an old thing. Let me see. When did this get done? It's one of the things that. All right, flexible goal updates.
D. Kari says $100 for a double. Forget about it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, this is a really old. This is really old campaign. Don't worry about that.
Okay, no problem.
I was misinformed.
That happens. It happens. Yeah. We can actually bring up the Indiegogo now for Rekt Planet to look at this stuff. There's updates and comments and all kind of stuff. We'll see. I'm sure we'll be following this closely if it rises. And I'm not just here to hate on the man. If he does good, if he does something good, I'm gonna celebrate him for it.
I have always maintained. I don't have a hard time with Ethan servicing his fans in whatever way they want to be serviced. If it happens to be with dildo memes and frog,
no, I don't like that.
Fantastic.
No, I disagree there.
Well, sure, but I'm saying the thing is, if people don't mind it, then that's fine. But it always, unfortunately, this nerd rage always has to be focused towards some outside objective, and that's where things get dicey.
All right, so let's look at this campaign, which I'm debating whether I want to do. I like supporting independent creators, but I also don't like being taken advantage of. I just don't know if this is too expensive for this, because I like the way it looks, the honeycomb box set, and I think that's what's really pushing this one,
right?
Because you could collect all of your Cyberfrog in a collectible box, and then that might be the only time you can get the box.
Sure.
But a true success to me is getting new customers, and actually, if you're talking about saving comics, it's not just milking the same ones you have already.
Well, then, by that definition, this campaign is not successful because, he has priced it, and it is being supported by, the same people who have been his loyal fanatical following. And I haven't. I'm going to put my campaign again on Thursday or Friday, so I haven't yet sat down and really dissected this one, but I am under the impression the perks are all priced fairly high.
Yeah.
What's the lowest price? Probably $25. I'm gonna guess.
Yeah.
Which isn't too bad. Yeah, so probably 25 plus $10.
So I actually want the honeycomb box set,
Yeah.
but I might just get the regular comic.
So in order to get the honeycomb box set, how much is that?
$200.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's what people were going for, and okay,
and it's limited 2,500. That's probably it's a limited one. I mean, who knows? Here's the other thing with Ethan.
Right.
It'll say limited, and then I found some more.
Yeah.
So people go into the perks thinking that's the only time. That's why they want to buy it, even for resale value.
Right.
There might be resellers that be like, there's only going to be 2,500 of this honeycomb box set. So I am going to keep him to his word on that. If some more chromiums pop, like the chromium situation, the salamander chromium. Oh, hey, Second Street. Second Street says he got 2 issues of Guinevere and the Divinity Factory, and a couple weeks ago, still have to read it and review it. Been so busy. Yeah, Trinity. I don't know if you're busy now. I would send you a link if you want. I'm sure Preston would be okay with that.
That's fine.
But I don't know if he's available or not.
And I appreciate your support on the Guinevere campaign.
Yeah, I am now a backer of Preston.
Yeah, that campaign is currently on Kickstarter. So Second Street backed the one for 100 100 copies of an exclusive cover that I did in December, January. And then the main campaign is right now. And if you add the campaigns together and stuff, I'm relatively happy. Like, the first campaign did, God, I have to remember, but I want to say like it ended up around like $7,000 after we got it into the backer kit thing, and then all the people got to buy add-ons because everybody wanted like issue 1 and prints and stuff. And then this one should probably do like another 7 or 8. And so Guinevere 2, combining those 2 campaigns, is bringing me like $15,000, and I'm pretty happy about that. Like, like, yay, this is an accomplishment. Like a single issue doing well into, into more than $10,000. I guess well into 5 figures would be in the 50s. So it's not well into the 5 figures. But
congratulations. And you're doing the hard work, working the go to cons. Well, unfortunately, that's affecting you now.
Yeah, I just got closed down. I was doing All-Con in Dallas, which was supposed to be a 4-day con, and I ended up just working Thursday because I came in Friday and there was an official notice like Dallas County whatever shut down this. Like, okay, great.
What you could do, just a recommendation from me to you, sure, for your video on this week, is building relationships, making new customers at cons. Show pictures of you getting new customers instead of milking the old.
Oh, sure.
That's the spin I would take it, but because you're doing the hard work.
And this is where, like, again, it's you. I wish Ethan would take his own advice and just take the money and shut up and be happy. But that's never enough for him. He then has to go, and Doug TeNaples' only chance to sell his stupid Bigfoot Bill book was coming on my show, and he screwed that up. I'm like, Doug TeNaples' campaign for Bigfoot Bill 2 is doing better than Bigfoot Bill 1. He's doing just fine. COMICSGATE is always there going, yeah, nobody buys your books, but that's demonstrably untrue. Every time I do a con, I'm posting pictures of lots of happy customers.
All right, I see them
growing. Like, how come they can't just live and let live and say, Ethan did well, Preston is growing, Doug did well? Like, it always has to be this, I have everything and you have nothing. And that's always has to be Ethan's attitude. And it's not true. So.
Right. Time Traveler is very critical of me. Cy, don't put randoms on when you're interviewing. So you're an expert person. It's also tiresome. Thanks for watching Time Traveler. Cousin Angel of Yonkers, Cyborg Frog. Just doesn't look appealing enough to me to spend $200. I'd rather spend money on the X-Men House of X and Power of X graphic novels. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Something I have a big issue with Ethan on. with him being a former DC employee is even though identity politics in what the SJWs are doing to the comic book industry, of course, that's overblown for funding of Indiegogos. Talking about your former coworkers, even ones you don't like, in the public sphere like that, to this level is disgusting.
Yeah.
If you don't respect creators, I don't particularly like some of the stuff Gail Simone said either.
Right.
But the way she's been dunked on, and
well,
I think
have you seen the direction Gail's been taking lately?
No, I missed that.
Look, I want to take some credit for this one, okay? People don't come and say, Preston, you inspired me, but when I look at the cause of events, I go, I think I clearly inspired this person. So on my channel over at Pocket Jacks Comics, every Wednesday we have a writers group. And, I always have said that even if I am acrimonious with you or you're a COMICSGATE or whatever, if you are a writer and you want to come on the stream, as long as you're respectful, we'll have you on the stream. So a couple of weeks ago, COMICSGATer Von Klaus, probably not his real name, but came on and presented his comic book Monster MD, and we went over it. We were fair, and at the end he said, you know what, I really appreciate you guys' notes. You did a good job. You were fair with me. Thank you very much. And people were like shocked, like, wow, COMICSGATE, anti-COMICSGATE, yeah, we actually talked. It was amazing, right? And then like the next week, Gail Simone is on Twitter saying, all right, I'm going to start a comic book school. This is for people who have never been published and have never made a comic book before. And, I'll look at your ideas and I will go over them and I'll give you some notes and I'll tell you how to do stuff. And even if you're COMICSGATE, it's okay. She
said that?
Yeah, she said that. She said, I probably have you blocked, but have someone DM me and I will unblock you so you can participate, but you got to be respectful. I'm like, she got that from me. But, I've been forwarding it on Twitter, of her giving notes to people. And so there's kind of this whole new era of people encouraging damage. This is great. And, it's like Gandhi said, you got to be the change you want to see in the world. So I'm there. I'm engaging people. Even ones who don't like me can come on my show and I'll give them my feedback and I'm going to help them. And it's fostering.
As long as they don't first the words out of my mouth, I'm here for you.
Exactly,
that's why I don't want to talk to certain people.
Right. And so, I mean, even the SJW side is kind of melting in regards to just their, ferocious attacks on people. Is there a bad history there? Sure. But, we can't just sit here and blame each other for past grudges. At some point, you have to move on,
Yeah. I think it's most of this is manufactured because print media is just. I mean, this is what we love. Print media. You're in this too, Preston. We want it to survive, but let's be honest. Part of it is the digital age, which also with world events now, the digital age is going to be becoming even stronger.
Right.
People aren't going to. So I like the going directly to the creator. Like, I like ordering from you. I think you're very fair priced, but we need it to survive. But we also can't manufacture this war with DC when they were having issues to begin with. Yeah. With all print media is having issues now, not just comics. Is it because SJW Comics? It has some effect. I'm not going to lie.
Well, sure. And I mean, at the same time, comic book stores are suffering, in this environment. But every retail store is suffering in this environment because they're all having to compete with the internet. So they're all under the same pressures, and comic book stores are just part of that. So,
well, part of this movement was reporting on how Star Wars toys are in the toilet. I've used to cover toys and collectibles a lot, and that's also part of the future. Kids are less interested in that, are more addicted to their phones and tablets. Is the truth, and that's why. Unfortunately, their response was to skimp on the product and create an inferior product, and collectors went away too. And that's where you see toy stores going out of business, like Toys R Us. So it's an issue across the board. Milking this culture war for funding, and then the abuse of your former coworkers that you sit idly by and you say you can't prove you're mocking them and say, well, where's the proof that I intentionally, or I think I saw some back and forth on Twitter. Show me the proof that I directly sent a message to a former coworker.
Right.
I think that's the whole blame war campaign set up from the beginning is talk about my former coworkers directly to the consumer. My fan group goes crazy and you can't prove it.
Right.
All right. I applaud Gail Simone for getting online. I didn't think she would do this type of stuff, but she's not afraid. I would like to talk to her. Would you like to talk to Gail at some point?
Sure.
All right. I mean, I think it'd be interesting to hear you two because you're both doing a similar series with your writers group. Have you reached out to her too about that? I know you're doing your own thing. Maybe say I'm doing a similar thing. It'd be nice to collab. I don't know.
Well, given her recent activities, I'm pretty sure she knows what I'm doing.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Let me see. Entertain the hack. He hacked my show once.
Okay.
I no longer do traditional Fandom Menace topics. I do celebrity news and Japan vlogs. So am I still Fandom Menace and why? I don't know. I'll have to check out your content. Possibly. Yeah. I don't know the hack. I'll have to check out your videos. He came on my show and he brought on Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers. So that we won't go into that now.
Okay.
All right. Let me see. Get to more comments. Not a healthy mentality. No. I honestly don't think this is helping the future comics except new creators that want to be part of the Ethan Van Kiss Ass contest, and that's where they'll get their time to shine. But I honestly think the boat has sailed on new creators getting big paydays. Especially one thing I can absolutely criticize Ethan on with the past events is he criticized instead of really, I mean, he condemned Critias and all that, but he said something about the consumers have to be think about more when they're backing. And I was like, are you really saying that, bro? Based on how way you pump these Indiegogos out, you're putting it on the consumer, putting it on the customer. I was like, you're full of shit.
That way. And that's also, look, Ethan contradicts himself all the time. But earlier, like back in late 2018, he was talking about COMICSGATE being kind of a brand of quality that they were all going to enforce on each other, and that if one of them was going to be, late, that they were going to put pressure on that person, and that they were going to hold each other's feet to the fire to make sure that they were properly serving their their consumers. So that was the things that were being said around the Critias campaign at the time when Ethan had him on. Just like with Stealing Solo, it was, oh yeah, it's Joe Quesada level art. Well, now that Stealing Solo's out, we're like, which of these pages reminded you of Joe Quesada? So he just says things because they feel good in the moment, and then later on when it doesn't turn out, it's like, oh, it's your fault. That
I heard it's getting a second print in Stealing Solo.
I doubt that's going to happen. Oh, well, I mean, it's not going to get a second campaign.
No.
But I mean,
that means he said I'm going to proof it and then send it to the printer, but I'm going to look at everything. That means it's a different printer, and I really believe he was lying, saying it was the printer's fault. And I don't think you could improve much on what's there, honestly.
No. Yeah, I don't either. But yeah, I'm under the impression, as I sit here, that he has received a cease and desist in regards to, doing any more monetization of, Harrison Ford's likeness.
Oh, he has?
I believe so.
Oh,
but
I didn't know that.
This would probably be not considered, if he's not raising new money, if he's just, paying money to get the book reprinted and sent to the existing backers, I think that probably is acceptable.
All right. Let's see. Dead Poop. What makes Ethan sad is he makes comments about how the industry should cool to each other, and then daggers come out. Yeah, if you really care about DC, constantly bashing on them to a point I don't like this much over. I mean, everyone's worked with someone where they talk about behind. I believe most people have worked with someone that talk about behind the scenes stuff, and putting it out in the public like that is not cool. Even if you disagree with them, do your own thing, be successful. Don't. It's not. I want DC to survive. All the videos are DC is done and all. Not cool.
No.
Not cool. These are all people. SJWs are people too.
I mean, if you go back to 2018, what were they? What did they keep attacking? Was that SJWs have taken over Marvel and DC, and that they are forcing comic book stores out of business. Okay, well now it's 2020. What has COMICSGATE done for comic book stores? Well, this Cyberfrog Rekt campaign. That's $300,000 that's not going into a comic book.
They're not. I'll ask this question. I'll put a poll up on Twitter and tag Ethan. He still follows me,
there you go.
Which is interesting.
Yeah.
And I could still send him a message. But what has COMICSGATE done for the comic book store?
Right.
When they started, that was a big talking point.
Yes.
These comics are killing comic book stores. They're overstocked with these SJW infused comics that are killing the stores. What have you done? And here's the question: is COMICSGATE interested in sharing some of that Indiegogo funds to help comic book stores? I don't think they're interested at all. They want the direct funds, and they don't want anyone getting a cut. All right, let me see. Who's this? Indie Dave Comics? I don't know. I don't know who that is.
Oh, I know who that is.
Okay, he's talking about you, Preston.
He is talking about me.
Did he work on the Cyberfrog or?
No. He worked on a book called Oddity. Currently on demand on Indiegogo. If you want to go back.
Okay. I don't know about the Indie Dave Comics. You feel free to address Preston as long as you're civil. I don't know about this one.
He thanked me for it. I mean, he knows his audience. His audience is COMICSGATE, and essentially, it's a virtue signal to their crowd to go, screw Preston, buy my book. See, he doesn't like it, so he got money out of it. I don't even know why he's in the chat now. Like, it's always the old song and dance of I have to play victim. I have to play victim. You said shit about my book. You know why? Because maybe when they call in a writer, the panel shouldn't have already been drawn. But I mean, COMICSGATE has this approach that is never on focus of quality to the consumer. It's always, we're a marketing engine. We're going to sit here and cover for each other. And anytime there's a problem, we're going to attack the consumer who presents the problem.
And disassociate with the creator. He's not COMICSGATE anymore.
How on earth can a quality product grow in such an environment? If so, it's a complete aberration and an accident.
Twist the arm of your boy Zach to say he's still COMICSGATE when he's not. And distance ourselves from people that release crap. Is he really COMICSGATE? I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what I heard with Stealing Solo, though. Is he really COMICSGATE? He's more Fandom Menace. Whatever. You use the same bank of fandom. Hey, Echo Base. Yeah, it's another video with Preston. Preston brings good conversation, so he's always welcome back. $200 is just nuts. To be fair, I didn't compare everyone's perks. It's possible lots of people have crazy perks. People buy it. Huh?
$200 is pretty crazy. I don't know exactly what comes in that box, but
that's a good time to bring up the Indiegogo again to actually see what's included in it.
What's in the box?
Now this is I believe this is why it's funding so quick.
Sure.
Is that out of 2,500? Is that it doesn't say limited though? Let me see. So some more boxes could pop up. No, I don't want to pay. I just want to look at the perk. Hold on a second.
I think you scrolled past it.
All right, here it is. The exclusive Honeycomb box set, which I think it looks pretty cool. But as much as he's dunking on Doug, I mean, Doug was doing this with his shipping box, but this is a little bit higher quality than just the shipping box. Let me see here. This is the ultimate way to enjoy Cyberfrog Rekt Planet. Okay, it's a sturdy portfolio with a magnetic seal covered with a honeycomb material printed on the outside and a beautiful splash art of our heroes inside. It's a great way to protect and display your Cyberfrog collection on your bookshelf.
For the family to enjoy.
So it's a $200 box. No, it's so all right, let's put a price on this and separate it from the other stuff that's in this perk. See how much. Okay, one copy of Jay Lee's Rekt Planet variant cover.
Right.
One copy of Salamandroid Death Sting.
Yeah.
One copy of Cyberfrog Num, a bonus comic, and
so you get 4 books and a box, $200.
All right, and well, here's exclusive gold foil and embossed Ultimate Blood Honey. Right. This will be okay. Let me see what this will be only available with this perk. I've taken the story of Cyberfrog Blood Honey and then added 1998, The Diary of Heather Swain, reprinted at full size, 80 pages total. This book will be printed on heavy gloss paper, perfect bound with a spine. The cover will be gold foil with a sculpted classic jumping image of Cyberfrog on it. Absolutely gorgeous. This edition is truly the jewel of the Cyberfrog collection. It will be printed to match the orders of the executive honeycomb box set. So that's the other thing. Is that the first comic Blood Honey?
I don't know, because it doesn't say Blood Honey. It says
Ultimate Blood Honey.
Yeah, but all I know is it's 4 comics and a box, $200. I wouldn't get caught up over which edition it is. So,
and this does not include the 24-hour Ides of March variant, which people, if you got this I have a problem right here. Okay. The executive honeycomb set, it does not include the 24-hour one if you bought it within the 24 hours.
But on Indiegogo, where Indiegogo is interesting but also kind of wonky, you can back the same campaign multiple times, and then you will show up as multiple backers. So you will move the backer count up for backing it twice. So you could have backed it to get the Ides of March cover, and also backed it to get the honeycomb box. And if you did so, then the human sunbeam has shone down upon you, and you've just spent $300? I don't know, like some absurd amount.
I'll be honest. If he was going the route you were, Preston, and was being respectful to people he disagrees with, to go in the cons and stuff, he'd probably be getting new customers.
Right.
But just milking the old ones, I could be a new customer. I don't know what I want to do with this, because I'm conflicted as all hell, because I like the content of the book. I mean, as much as I know, I haven't read it yet, but the art, I'm interested in the storyline. I would like to see a movie down the line. I'd like to see a movie of your stuff too, White Lily, and the Divinity Factor. I would love to see. Oh yeah, show. I would love it. I'd be so supportive of you.
And I made it towards that goal. The book, when you get the books, you look at the books. I made it better than it needs to be to just serve a comic book market, and that's because my ultimate end user is, like the producer, that I want to put it on the desk, and I want them to see it. I want them to be wowed, and I want them to see the movie in their minds, and I want them to make it. That was the whole, design behind it. So I like making movies. I like making comic books. There's certainly a lot of overlap there. So I make comic books to make movies. That's kind of how I see it. And that's my business plan. And I just view the comic book as a way to tell a wonderful story. And when you have other people who are approaching it like, let's just make whatever the minimum we possibly can, which John Malin said, writing for COMICSGATE is minimal. And then Sean wants to come in, he called my book shit unprovoked. I'm like, well, you adopted the COMICSGATE hashtag. Everyone in that hashtag has said, We're here to do the minimum to provide to the consumer because it's all about the creators. Although it's customers first. They always throw out these kind of platitudes, but it's really all about the creators. And when you hear the creators talk about it, they certainly don't put much focus on writing. It's all about big visual arts and splash pages. And okay, fine, if that's what their market wants, but don't sit back and call it a good story.
Well, I'm undecided on this. I don't know if I can afford the 200. Honestly, I might. I'm considering getting the regular comic, but it's not like too exciting. I just want to, I'll tell you what, Preston.
Well, did you notice the delivery date and when you were going to get it?
Yeah, that's the other thing too. I mean, I think he is going to try to stick to that date this time, especially if they're still going to go through with the con after they that's way past. Hopefully we'll be way past this situation by then, but that's perfectly timed for his con to have physical copies, so you might be at the con and get it shipped to your house and he might sell it to you again at the con. That's what I'm thinking.
And let's face it, do you think this is the only campaign he's going to run between now and May of next year?
No,
I'm sure there'll be plenty more chances. And then when it finally comes out, you can also pick it up on eBay. So, and typically, it's certainly going to be delivered much faster. You will have recourse if you don't receive it, and you can usually, particularly if you're a bargain-minded person, you can buy it at a lower price. So, there's no reason to think you shouldn't be able to get the honeycomb box in July of 2021 for half price, delivered in a week. So
it doesn't say limited; it just says 2,500. So I think these boxes will pop up again, and who knows about the? I think that means that it's Cyberfrog Blood Honey, and then added into the book the Dire of Heather Swain. I'm not sure. I'll have to look at that. I don't want to spend that much. I could buy so many other comics with that money.
Yes.
I mean that's
my comics with that money.
Yeah. I could buy your whole collection.
Yeah.
With the other thing I criticized EVS in the past, way before I went real hard on them, is what are you going to do to make this more better for the consumer with the price? And he said people are going to have to wait. And I don't think we're ever getting to that. I think if anything, the prices are going to be inflated more.
Yes.
With crazier perks.
Well, I'm sure he'll tell you as soon as he's done winning the culture war. That recent, like last week, as you know, if you go to my channel and listen to Last Week in COMICSGATE, he said that he's not out to fight some great cause. He's, COMICSGATE is just about serving the customer and shutting up about your stupid political opinions. But when it suits him, he'll say, "Oh, I'm here to fight the culture war, and as soon as I'm done winning that, whenever that's going to be, well, then I will provide great value to the customer." Like, oh, okay, whatever you think.
We'll be waiting until the culture war is done, which is never going to happen.
Never going to happen.
So we'll get to the consumer prices down to the consumer once the culture war is won. Okay, all right. I think we'll get to some more comments and then we'll wrap up and point to people to what you're doing. You got some more free time on your hands, unfortunately.
Oh, I got quite a bit. My schedule's been freed up for the next couple of months.
All right. Let me see. I can't find any of the supposedly Gail, Dinky on Ethan and Friends. I don't know what they got to leave. I'm thinking when they said she had a freak out on Twitter. I thought it was pretty funny.
I did.
She was mocking COMICSGATE customers.
Yeah, she was just poking fun at COMICSGATE customers.
Very tame compared with the COMICSGATE does to her.
Yeah. Absolutely.
All right. CG comics for everyone, but if you want a cardboard mailer, that'll be $200. It is a glorified Earthworm gem box with detailing, but it's probably going to be a box. Oh no, wait. He said he is shipping it in that, so he can't guarantee. Wait a second. Hold on a second. I remember reading something there. I read something about he can't guarantee the quality of the box once it's gone through shipping. So I don't know if it's a box within a box or it's actually shipping in that box.
$200 for a box, quality box not guaranteed.
I'll have to. Damn it! I can't find where he said that. I read it somewhere. I was looking over this before we went live. I'll have to get back to you on that. Maybe next time Preston comes on. Okay. That's something to look into. A shipping box that is a perk for $200 that cannot guarantee. So actually, it should be a box within a box if you're selling it as a perk for $200. Right. I don't know. That's my thoughts there. Good point, our Rodimus Flash. Good point. Yeah, that's a good point. Oh yeah, Obi-Wan Vlogs commenting on that. It looks like you have a little obsession over Amber Heard there. Yeah, I know. I'm not getting into that here. Gail's opinion isn't worth the unblock. Hey, she has something that I think her word is valuable.
Wait, what? I mean, we're talking about someone who is a writer for DC and has been for a number of years.
Yeah.
She's a long industry veteran. How is her opinion about comic books not relevant?
It's more relevant than yours, Indie Dave Comics.
Mine? Yeah.
I'm sorry, Indie Dave Comics. It's more relevant than yours, even if you say the quality she's worked within the industry. I think Ethan's opinion is relevant too, except when he goes across the line and it's just about shit talking your former coworkers.
So hold on, let me address Indie Dave here and his victimization complex of, oh, how dare he? What you just told me is that you have an opportunity to have your writing reviewed by a multi-year DC comic veteran, and your opinion is, I don't care about what she has to say.
I don't agree with that.
And you hold yourself out as someone who's a quality writer. Okay. Whatever.
All right. Let me see. Echo Base, thoughts on the new Marvel characters, Snowflake and Safe Spaces? Listen, it's a mixed bag with some of these new characters. There's some that have succeeded, some that I think are weak.
I've been really happy with the DC Black Label. I liked Harleen. Like they've done Savage Avengers and they've introduced some Conan stories. So the idea that everything that Marvel DC put out is just nothing but SJW, representation trash is simply not true. I mean, if you go looking for it, you're gonna find it, sure, but that's not all there is.
All right, 6 years of SJW woke is pretty old. It's pretty old already. I mean, it's there, but it's like acting like it's something you got to fight and take up arms. I honestly, I don't like to make blanket statements, but I question the sanity of people that still watch this content, that every single video is the same exact damn thing. It's kind of scary. Like they're so this is why people on the internet are called influencers. They are totally influenced to buy up and lap up all the shit that these YouTube personalities pump out. Shit out videos constantly about it.
And I'm sorry, you're fooling yourself if you believe that Cyberfrog is somehow going to be the spearhead of a whole new breed of comic. I mean, first off, it's not even going to appear in comic book stores except by accident. Like if you buy it and then you happen to go liquidate your comic book collection in a store or something. So its reach is amazingly limited, and the focus isn't on the story. The story is like laughably dumb. The Earth has been taken over by honey-producing space hornets, and it's up to us.
I like that idea.
Alien frog. Like, okay.
I like that idea personally. I like you, Preston, but I like that idea. I think it's fun. I think it's fun. Yeah. I don't think it's like. I mean, the art might be groundbreaking, but I don't think the story's groundbreaking. No. But I don't think it needs to be, as long as the art's good. We'll see. Time traveler Gail Simone is far too patronizing, given her. Well, I still want to talk to her. Sure. I mean, everyone deserves a voice. Yeah. Everyone's supposed to be against cancel culture and these movements, but I've seen a lot of that going on. Here. You're canceling her opinion. It's not worth the unblock. I would like to talk to everybody that knows how to speak. That's the caveat. No one's saying that. I haven't. Have we said that? That she's Stanley or Jack Kirby?
No, I haven't said that.
No. Ethan said he's like the next Stan Lee. I don't see that. Oh, here's the friend. Oh, you came on my channel, Adam. Oh my goodness, how's that COMICSGATE documentary?
Well, apparently he's going with a new comic book, which is it's not the documentary and it's not Dick Smashers. I'm kind of upset.
Adam, you're a freaking idiot because you care. You're here. You're proving your comment invalid right now. You care. You're here, you idiot.
And I'm always amazed.
Go make your documentary. You have the time. Look at the
COMICSGATE does. They'll come over and go, nobody cares about you. I'm like, dude, you just came to me to express your opinion, so clearly you care.
Go film your unbiased documentary.
Yeah.
I said you're unqualified because you're kissing that pie ass.
Yeah.
And everyone knows it, Adam. I think Preston over here is more qualified. Oh, sorry. Is more qualified to make a documentary on COMICSGATE than you ever will.
Right.
So, hey, I'm rooting for you. Make sure to cover every single meme and war campaign and Ethan's connection to war campaign in your documentary. I think everyone would love to see that, Adam. And all the crap that he's done talking about former coworkers and the manufactured culture war to fund Indiegogos, influencing YouTube crazies to fund your comics, and how it's bringing in new customers and not just milking your old. Cover all that in it. Okay? Get the hell out of here, Adam. You're no friend of mine. All right. Thanks. You're one of them, dipshit. Man, I don't know what I really got under his skin, and I wasn't even poking hard when I said when I said he's unqualified. Then he's like, "You're attacking me. You're trying to cancel me." No, it's opinion on your qualifications that you're too far up the con artist ass to give an unbiased opinion for a documentary, a true documentary, because it should be a documentary on indie comics. Ethan likes to say like he created the internet, like Al Gore or something. He didn't create indie comics. He didn't do any. He never started any gangsta shit, but he tries to tell you every chance he gets. No, this has existed before him. It will exist after him. He's a glorified cam girl. He's on, you know.
And look, I'm sorry, but this new Cyberfrog campaign, it reeks of, like an e-thought selling bathwater. $200 for a box and 4 comic books. Oh, and if you want the Ides of March cover, that's another perk you got to get in on. Like it's like he's milking the hardcore supporters for the maximum amount they can get. And if you look at the other COMICSGATE campaigns, they are not getting that kind of love. Expendables, as I said, is underperforming in comparison to Jawbreakers. Antonio Bryce's brand is currently 15% of what the prior campaign was, with like less than a week to go. Let's see. Cash Grab did like 135. These Adam Post has managed to potentially double his last campaign and come in at 10 grand. We're currently sitting at 88 backers. COMICSGATE is not a broad-based movement. Oddity. Dave's in here to ply up his victim cred so that he can maybe squeeze another backer or two out of the COMICSGATE crowd. They ended up, during On Demand getting like 16,000. The idea that, I'm going to get COMICSGATE, I'm going to get buried money. No, you're not.
Yeah, I'll give you. When you're right, Adam. I am behind on the comments. I always hit because we're having a casual conversation. I am far, but the doc is about the death of the comic book industry. Okay. I think it's still ticking. Sure. You have some points. There are some valid points, but it's all print media, really. Yeah. So go fight your culture war and kiss that con artist ass like you love to do. All right. Let me see. Yeah, here's giving some advice. Embrace your critics, friended. Preston, please do a documentary to shut this guy up. Please do a documentary.
Right.
Have rival document. I know you're a busy guy. Maybe you don't want to put in that time.
Well,
but please shut this.
If what Comic Book Hut said is true, which I believe it is, which is that the Federal Trade Commission and ICE, which is apparently the government regulation which is responsible for trade money laundering, is looking into Rekt Planet. And if they come out and say it's fine, clean bill of health, no big deal, okay, well, there's not really a story there. But if like I've been hearing a lot about scandals, and if something finally comes out that law enforcement brings charges, then I think there's really going to be interest in a documentary, and I think that would be the time to do a crowdfund and go, it's time for COMICSGATE, the documentary. But until there's a big breaking headline, grifter sells bathwater for maximum amount just isn't that compelling.
All right. Let me see. Okay. Oh, I gotta end the stream. I'm past the time. I'll be looking at these comments. Okay, let me see. Here the good news, I think he's talking about the campaign of. Well, hey, EVS had a win. Either way you look at it. Well, there is criticism to be had though, because the number of backers, it's not growing the audience. It's not helping the actual comic book stores, which really. Are you talking about me, Bianca? I don't know. Maybe you're talking about EVS. I don't give a shit. Whatever. I'm ending the stream, but I want to thank Adam Friended for showing up to talk smack and getting his ass kicked out of the stream. I want to thank my boy Preston, who's got some great comics available now. You don't have to wait till May 2021.
Over on Kickstarter, Guinevere and the Divinity Factory 2.
Yeah. Go check it out.
Yeah.
Oh, you're bored, but you're still here. All right. Destiny versus Vosh. Okay. Cool. What's that have to do with COMICSGATE here? I don't know. They're bread tubers, aren't they? Yeah. I'm not with BreadTube. Okay. No, you didn't get kicked.
No, stop arguing with that.
I don't know. I'm waiting for the documentary.
Okay.
Whatever. Go support Pocket Jack Comics and White Lily in the Divinity Factory. You still have something up right now?
I do. Okay, yeah, so right now it's going to be the Divinity Factory. We have like 10 days left on Kickstarter, and I'm probably I turned my campaigns very fast, so that campaign should be fulfilled within 6 weeks of right now. And then White Lily issue 5 is going to launch, and I've been posting some artwork for that up on Twitter, and it's a gorgeous book. It's going to be bigger. It's going to be the biggest comic I've ever done. It's going to be 36 pages, what COMICSGATE would call a graphic novel. But that campaign is going to be gorgeous, and White Lily will be in comic book stores later this year. So
you need a collector's box.
I will work on that. Everybody's doing it. I guess I'm going to get me a collector's box.
Be nice to Ethan. Tell him to get his fan group under control. Yeah. I actually think he has. I just don't think it's been publicly addressed.
That would be nice.
All right. My wife said end the stream. Okay, bye, everyone. Okay. Bye, Adam. No friend of mine. All right, bye. All right, I'm ending it.